To terrible at fishing? Not anymore. Let's get on with the show. Okay, so terrible at fishing, not anymore when it comes to ice fishing. So, the nice thing about ice fishing is a very affordable activity. It really is, especially in Oregon, because we're not in the Midwest where it's 40 degrees and wind chill factor below zero. So, let's just talk about a couple things that you'll need. The nice thing about going to the Lake of the Woods or something is that they'll drill a hole for you for $5. Or you could just buy an auger and do it yourself. But if you don't have an auger, don't worry about it. Go out there and try it. Pay the $5 for them to pop a hole in, or go see a fisherman out there. He'll be happy to put a hole in for you. All of us will, believe me. But let me tell you something about the fishing poles. The fishing poles are tiny. This is it. That's it. That is it. It's about 20 inches, 24 inches for a fishing pole. And you just need a small reel on it. That's it. Now, it's real important when you buy a ice fishing reel that it's really fast action. What that means is that this is really skinny. The head, right at the end, is really, really skinny. Now, why is that important? Well, it's because you want to see, and let me one more thing. You see how it's brighter here? And it's black here, but it's bright chartreuse here? It's called a strike indicator. When fish hit under the ice, they hit really, really soft. So they just boop, 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 and you want to feel it or see it. And so for a strike indicator, when you see that little yellow start to move, or you feel it, again, you need something real sensitive, an ultralight pole. So if you get a short pole, they're not all fast action poles. You want to make sure that its tip is really skinny. This is really skinny. You want to use really light line too. 4 pound, maybe 6 at the heaviest. You don't want the fish to see it, so you're going to use a monofilament line, and you're going to drop that down. So maybe even you could go with a fluorocarbon line. I always have trouble with fluorocarbon because of the memory in it, but it doesn't stretch as much, so you can set the hook faster with a fluorocarbon. So, but I do have fluorocarbon line. I just don't like using it. You can try it, see what you think about it. But that's all you need is a small. This is a 1,000, maybe even a 500. If you can find a 500, even a smaller reel. Remember, you're not casting this. You're just dropping the line down through a hole. So typically, you're only going to use maybe up to 50 feet. Probably not even that. Most of the time, I'm fishing at about 20 to 30 feet, right in there. And that's where I'm finding the fish. So you're just going to use a small reel, very small rod, very skinny rod. That's what you want to use. So that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Now the nice thing, see this little switch here? See that little switch? This little switch allows this to not lock. So if I do this, it frees it up to go both ways. So this is really nice to lower it. To just lower the bait down into the water. Also, it'll tell you how many feet per turn this gives you. That's important because you want to remember that. So when you're counting, like 1, 2, 3, then multiply it by the inches. This way you can always go down to where the fish are over and over again. If you don't have a depth finder, this is how you're going to do it. So know how many inches per turn, IPT, your reel gives you. And then when you lower it, count. And this way, when you get them, you can go back to the same spot, at same depth, and get another, and another, and another. Normally, I find them about a foot off bottom. But sometimes the school of crappie will be swimming by mid, suspended or whatever. Maybe even some trout. Catch trout on this? That's just plain old fun. So, when you're buying this gear, all right, remember, ultra skinny up here, small reel. You can get this whole setup for, you can get a whole setup for $20, at Walmart or something. This is a nice setup. This whole setup cost me about $50. This setup. But you guys know what to look for. Skinny, fast, bright colors on the end, and a small reel here. And make sure that you can flip that reverse so you can count it down. All right? So anyway, that is your tip for not anymore, because ice fishing is about to start. Have fun, everybody, and we'll see you out on the ice. Take care.